Welcome back. So, in the video I uploaded yesterday, I think this is when that's going to come out. I was talking about book covers that I either like, dislike, or kind of what I would change. I mentioned how I have a few different covers for different book series. Now, I'm going to slightly go over really what I mean about that. I have a few options that I can show you. My first set, because I already talked a lot about them. No, I'll do it later. I did talk a lot about it the first time. I was going to show you Percy Jackson. I'm going to show you Harry Potter, the smallest one I can find, and then I'm going to continue getting bigger and bigger the difference. Now, it's really no different. The cover of, hold on, I'm going to see if I can get that glare out. I can't really get the glare out, mostly because I'm just using my laptop camera while I redesign my bookshelf. But in this cover, it's gonna be distinct here and here, and mostly the back. So in the back of this one, it's just the torch, the pole. Uh, it still has Harry. It still has the Phoenix. But so remember the cover. Nothing on the no characters on the back. No nothing. When you get the hardcover, it's really. I'm just you know what. I'm gonna take the cover off because it's a hardcover. The blue and the green. There's so much more to the design aspect of it. You got so much more snakes. You get the floor tiles. You get all of Harry. But the back is where I found really different because yes, when you open it, you get Ron and Ginny. But this one, even if it's just on the book itself, you get Ron and you get Ginny flying with the feet. And the other one, you don't even get the cat. There's, the cat in the window and everything. You see where it cut off, which makes it kind of a different book cover. Not really, like they still have the same way they drew Harry. They kept the same way the Phoenix is, Fox is there, but the big cover just gives you so much more detail. They could have shrunk it down. I feel like from this, instead of doing this, I feel like they should have taken that portion of it more, like give the Ron and the cat and the aspect. I feel like it would have made more sense, but same cover for the most part for the two different books. When you get into the American versus Scotland, because that's where I got this book is, and the newer Scotland, this book, I got my hardcover that came out, I think probably so when it came out in oh, I think this is the first edition. Printed in the US, but American first edition. I didn't know that. Okay, that's kind of cool. But it came out in 05. This book, so this is the cover that came out in 05 for The Goblet of Fire. Dumbledore and Harry along the penice, and then on the back you get the characters looking at after. Is it a spoiler at this point? I mean, it came out in 05. Or whatever. Not gonna say who that was for. Now, my Scotland version that came out, this book cover came out in Scotland, and I'll show you the other Scotland covers because it shows me on here, which is why I wanted to enhance the different versions. This one, I believe, is going to be 2007, 8. Um, wow. I meant to say like 2018, but I'm not finding. It's just all copyrights and hardbacked and handbacked. I don't see where this exact, like what time period this exact book came out. But whatever. This is I bought in Scotland, and it's much different. It's the scene of Dumbledore and Harry, which even their artwork of how they drew Harry it's much different than the American version. Same for how they drew Dumbledore. If we want to go back. Oh, well, shit, what did I do? Oh, I think I'm still recording. I don't know what just happened. But that's how they drew Harry and Dumbledore in the American version. In the Scotland version, they're different. But the world scene is really what I was focusing on. It's much different. This is when they're in. I don't think it's spoilers. At this point, if you don't like spoilers for books, don't be here because it's been decades since these books and movies came out. So, anyways, when they're in the cave and they're fighting off, I do love how specifically they made like him and a few other ones. But this back is also different too because it's Malfoy. And if you look again, they use the same art style to do the characters. It's just much different than the American version. Um, and then all of the covers are much different than the American version. I like some of the I love the third one. I really like that cover. I think I even like this cover maybe more than the American cover. I just love how they did that. I don't think I can't find my American cover right now, but I don't. It's not the same. Anyway, each one is very different than what we know as an American cover. So I do have at least this one cover versus the other cover. And here is where it really kind of gets different. I talked in the last video about how much I love this design artwork. This is the second one, or at least the second version I got. I have all of them in this version because it was like buy 3 for $2, or yeah, it was like buy 3 for $2. So I got all 3. I did already have this one, and I already read this one, but I knew it was different from the covers. So this this set. Oh, maybe it's also because I got this in England or Ireland. I believe I got this in England, so maybe it's just the English covers. That's also a possibility. But anyway, I have all 3. So they're all red and black, and they're all different, just a little bit different styles. This is the first, one I got, and so in the red and black cover style, they have the black, and then everything down here, all the white is red to match the rest of them. So I think all the covers were mostly white and black, and then they switched to black and red, especially because they already had the red up here. But I do like them. I do like this cover. I like the red and black more. I feel like I did have a lot of white books, so like when it's on the shelf, when I'm on the shelf, I just really, and I like how this one also like they both have a little bit of the picture going to the side. I just like the black and red, and the white, especially when I'm like looking at it, it kind of gets blinded when I have the sun on it. I don't mind it. It's still a cool looking cover. Like it still made me want to read the book and what the book is about. I just really like how they did this one. And I like the drawing of how they drew. I'm going to show the picture of that exact book. I like how they drew the characters. It's more not AI, but it's more edited, like illustrated. Where this one, they seem to more take a picture of a girl and just enhance it and edit it to make it look not exactly like a female or a little girl. They kind of edit it more, where this one's full on illustrated, and I think I like this cover better. But again, two much different covers with different colors. Covers with different colors. That one, oh, they're the same. Well, these are the same books. They just with different things. I kind of like how this one was inside, and then this one was hidden with like the frost. I don't know why that's around, but I figured I would just let you show. I enjoyed this. my next one, which gets even more enhanced than the last two, we're getting more and more adapted into how much different covers I have, like I own, and how many different covers they actually have. Like Percy Jackson has a ton. I happen to only really have two. We talked about these ones in the last one, where the two different book style covers. This style of the set has the bar with the picture inside the bar, kind of like the series of unfortunate events style, where it's a bar of just plain color and then the cover, and then you get to the full on cover one that even go into the side where you can get this when you line them up, you get Manhattan. I know Harry Potter had done this too. I just don't have those collections. But the Harry Potters did something very similar, where when you put all the books together, they're going to create an aspect. I think it's Hogwarts on the Harry Potter ones. This one's the skyline of Manhattan. But very different covers. They're also different books at this point, 1-3 and 1-4. I don't have the full collection of both of them. I couldn't find if I had this one in this style. I couldn't find them. I'm still looking while I redo my whole bookshelf, which is what really getting me into looking at what covers and books I have, because this is where this really comes down. So you see how these ones have, again, very different covers, same book company, same book, not even company. This is the same timeline. This is both the first Harry Potter, Percy Jackson and the Olympians set. He has written a lot, and I have a lot of his sets. I have not all of the Apollos. Do I finish the Apollos? I might need to finish the Apollos, but there's a lot of them. Here is where I kind of get more annoyed. I talked about this book in the last video, where, alright, step one. I just talked about her in the video prior. This one is the exact same book as this one. This cover set, when they had these covers, they were all similar to this, where the guy, Rose, whatever. This is the exact same book, right? Yeah, they're both Shadow Kiss. Where it just makes no sense. Are they the same height? Okay, at least so they're the same height. I mean, one's very badly used. I don't know which one. I'm 90% positive this one came out first. But let me just check. I don't know how that works. Copyright of 08. This one. And then this one. Copyright of 08. So, which one came first? Registered it. London, England. I didn't know that. Printed in the United States. I can't tell which one came first. They're both printed in the US. That's 8, 9, and 10. And this is... Okay. So this one looks like it's 8, 9, and 10 are the numbers. And this one has a number for 20. So, again, this one came out first. But I just don't like how I had to sit... How they changed covers. And then, on top of it, so these are my two covers. You get the third style cover that has nothing to do at all with at least the other two. So this one I like more, actually. I kind of like this one the most. I just didn't really like... this one have it? Does this one have it? This one has it. So this is the first book, which in these covers, so the first and second cover that I have both have the girls on it. this is the first cover, and for some reason, I just don't like the little, like, smirk style they kind of gave her. I think it's a weird shape of her face, like, going over the shoulders, and then, like, over the shoulder, down, and sideways. I don't know. I'm not a big fan. I never really liked that cover. I liked the book. I wasn't a big fan of just how they made her look. And so being mostly covered, but still have the peak of it, I like. I like this cover, and I like how it's big Vampire Academy style. This one happened to be hardcover, but even the hardcovers of those ones, which I have, which are also mixed, same for these ones, like they're all mixed. But this is the third book cover, and this one starts at like 57. So there's a bunch of book covers. I don't know how many more they made after this one. I like this one, I think, the most, which normally I'm okay and I'm fine with having just a word style font with a little bit of the background. But in this case, I feel like it's closest to what I was hoping for. I just feel like these just don't do the book justice enough for just having the girl and Damien. I believe it's Rose and Damien, supposed to be anyway. They're not even the same girl. But the point is, I just, for having a fantasy book, I've asked this again. I've asked this a couple of times, and I'm gonna ask it again. When do we decide on what it's called? Because I've heard fantasy fiction, I've heard dystopian fiction. This one's not really. There's not really a word. There's urban fantasy. There's urban fiction, and then you guys get paranormal, and then XYZ. I believe these would be close enough to maybe urban fantasy, urban, because there's magic, there's vampires. They have their own school, but they go out into the world on and off. Urban, maybe. Urban fantasy, urban paranormal, whatever. Well, yeah. No, there's ghosts. So there's ghosts in these books. There's ghosts, vampires, magic, a full on like crown section, like a full on it's not really, it's just, you know, hmm, I might have to edit this. I don't want to. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I think they're urban fantasy. I'm probably not going to edit this because it takes too long. And all I was trying to do is show how many covers of the same book series there are. And I don't know what to do and how to put them on my shelf because they're all so different, and I don't even know if it's possible to get a full collection of these ones. So I also, as a side note, I want to know, do you guys buy books? Like, most of the time I buy books at my library book sale or small bookstores that I end up finding. I do have a lot of copies. I have the same copy of the same books. Like, I'm literally showing you. I just didn't think of it was the same book because it was the same book cover. But I don't need two of the exact same books. I don't need this. They're literally the same book. So, what I want to know is how often, and if at all, you would go to like a used bookstore. And if it's used bookstore, do you expect them to be honestly, both of these books are okay condition. Like I would probably sell this one over this one that has a mark on it, or just sell this for just for cheaper. But this one is much better quality. Would you go to a bookstore and would you be okay on buying, I don't know, like library books, or if they're a little bit damaged? Like if I had both of these exact copies, this one's obviously much better. But would you feel bad about buying something that has this line for like $3, $5, whatever? Let me know, please. I want to know because at this point, I don't have any used bookstores near me. And it might be interesting to see if I can look up maybe how to sell some of my books because I have a lot of extra copies of books that I have been finding throughout my reorganizing of my books. And then on other aspects, I can't find full on book series that I own. I don't know. I don't know. You guys let me know. Thank you. Bye. Have a good day.